Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Full Quota Podcast. This is your South African cricket podcast that talk all things South African cricket. We're recording this on Monday, as we always do, and we're going to talk about the things that happened this Monday. But before you do anything, my name is Mpho and I'm joined by Tim de Villiers. Tim, how are you doing?
I've only just recovered from watching the finality of the English Ireland series. I've only
England, Ireland, India.
India.
I'm mad at England. So mad at them. But
I'm not.
No, look, from a World Test Championship perspective, I wanted India to lose a series. I wanted India to start on the back foot so that when they, as you rightfully expect, they do beat us at the end of the year. I hope that doesn't happen, but it looks most likely. They don't have some unassailable lead because they've won one series away from home. It adds pressure on us to win in Pakistan and possibly win in Sri Lanka to kind of keep up with India. But at least the draw is fair. I just didn't want them to get a draw. I want them to start on a negative win-loss ratio, if you get what I mean.
I get what you mean. You want us to have as few opposition as possible. I get that. My only comeback would be, I see lots of chinks in this Indian team, and I know it's a way. I think we can come out of that for something. I genuinely.
So here's my thing.
Really can come out.
Here's my thing. If India forget about this Bumrah experiment. I know he's the greatest fast bowler in the world, as everyone says. Practice begs to differ. But if India want to win at home, I think they can't play Bumrah. They have to play Siraj and whoever it was that they were putting out there as a fast bowler to do the hard yards and just throw spinners at us. But if you're going to play a Bumrah, it's going to force you to have pitches that work for a Bumrah. And that's going to bring our boys in. And so for me, that's their conundrum. But this oval test gave them some sort of a secret sauce. And also, not. When did they won? They won the second test, right? Yeah. Edgbaston also gave them a view into the future, into how they could play at home. So you save Bumrah for the away series and you keep him, you don't play him at home. But anyway, that's India. But the drama was insane. It was top tier. It had everything. Wilkes coming out with a broken shoulder, running and grimacing, sixes being hit by tail enders, and then India realizing, actually, no, bowl at the stumps. It had everything.
This is why I want 5 test series. Not for everybody. Not for everybody. But if we can have 5 test series, it would have taken so much out of the series. So much.
No, look, yes. But in a South African context, and I was chatting to someone about this, and I think we should shut it down after this, is that our pitches will never give us 5 days. Unless if you want a flat pitch. Then you take away our greatest strength, which is our fast bowlers. Australia, yes. When we go to England, most definitely. But again, in South Africa, I don't think we can carry a 5-test series, a 5-match test series. And I also don't think we can get to 5 days in a test match. So you have that added element because our pitches are the hardest to bat on in the world.
I agree, but still, I think if we're playing Australia and India and England, I think it would add something if we had 5.
Oh no, we want those back. We want those back.
Hey,
I think we want those back, but I think without our point as the World Test champs now, and if our team is going to be quite good going forward, they'll want to play 5 test matches against us, and that's fine. And I do think with this new 2-tier system, that the ICC wants to do post 2027, you're going to get them requesting us to play 5 test matches away from home. Australia's going to be tough. I think we'll only end up with 3 because of the windows. We lose so much not having cricket here at home. And this SA20 experiment, I'm still not going to buy it for this year's December. But yeah, oh man, Mohammad Siraj, well done. Well done, India. Well done. Anyway, we started on an India-England note, but please do follow us at Full Quarter Pod on X. If you are following us, please do add more. We love friends. And if you're a friend, you're watching this podcast, subscribe to the Full Quarter Podcast on YouTube and also the Full Quarter Podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And then finally, you can buy some coffee. That's your way of supporting us, way of making sure that we continue to bring you good content and bring you good interviews and all of that. It goes to support what we do here. So we don't do this for free. It does cost some money for us to do this, and we don't do this for the love of cricket alone. There is another added element that we need to add here. And so you can buy some coffee at buymecoffee.com at Full Quarter Podcast. Thank you to everyone who's provided, who's contributed. You've really, really assisted us and helped us move on, and it's going to assist in our rebranding. And that's the other thing that we're doing. We're rebranding, and if you want to send us comments and views and things to help us rebrand properly, please to email us at sacricketpod@gmail.com. Lots have happened in this week. We've got awards to discuss. The Proteas are going to Australia for a T20 and an ODI series. And then we've had squad announcements. And then the one big thing that I want to talk about before we go, why is the season starting again in September?
It was always going to start in September. I was always told it was going to start in September. I actually thought it was going to start earlier. I genuinely
thought the first week of September, not like the last week of September.
Yeah. So it's actually starting 2 weeks later than I think originally planned. Why? I can't answer that part. But,
no, look. Obviously, we'll get more information. We'll talk about this. My only thing is probably because we don't have international cricket down here in the summer, and so SA20 taking the thingy, you're going to have a December that's going to just be focused on SA20. But I would have loved a portion of that December to highlight 4-day cricket, or even 4-day cricket up until the 16th, and maybe some one-day cup stuff to kind of have crowds in when people are available to go on holiday, right? To take time. I look at the crowds in England, I'm like, yeah, it's summertime. People are on holiday. People have taken leave. People have taken 2 weeks off. You know, that's the type of time. But obviously, SA20 has taken that window. And then you find yourself in a situation where it's like, where are the crowds? Well, the time when the crowds need to be there, we're not highlighting our own domestic cricket. We're highlighting SA20, which, yes, you can say it's your own domestic cricket, but you don't fully own it. So I'm just a little miffed and peeved about all of this because, yeah, I'd love to start a little bit earlier and finish earlier so that we have good pitches for the guys and we have we get through a proper full season without having that drama there at the end of March and April where you're playing on flat pitches and teams need results to be promoted or relegated. So that's my only thing. But anyway, that's the one thing that's come out. Today, the SAA squad was announced for New Zealand inbound tour against New Zealand A at the end of August, all to be played at Willamore Park. Just Willamore Park is just, that pitch must be flat by the time these guys get there. But anyway, here is the SAA ODI squad, and there's a 4-day series as well. They're going to play 1 days against New Zealand A. Captain Marcus Ackerman is going to lead the line. Oguhle comes in. Gerald Kutsia. Jordan Herman gets a run. Ruben Herman comes in. He's one of the new faces here. Tristan Lees as well. He played in the West Indies. Kwana Mapaka, Rivaldo Munsami, Tapo Moreki, Mihlali Mpongwana, Tapo Ndwandwa, Ngaba Peter, Sinetemba Tlashila, Andile Semelane, and Jason Smith. Lots of guys who were in that Zimbabwe tour in the T20s, and a lot of guys who are young and guys who also went to the West Indies and did really, really well under coach Wandile Kwavu. And I look at that team, Tim, largely the same faces. The one thing is, I think, look at that fast. The thing I'd watch in this series is the fast bowlers. Those guys are hungry. Okay, one guy is hungry. Mpho Mareki is very hungry to get more Proteas caps. I spoke to him in London after the World Test Championship final, and he was like, he is so hungry to get back in. I look at this team, and we've got guys who want to punch the door, break the door down, and there's opportunities to break the door down with 2027 along the way. Marcus Ackerman probably leads that, and probably Jordan Hanman coming in. I like Ruben Hamlin coming in there as well. And then Gerald. Gerald needs to sort his life out, especially from a bowling perspective. He needs to be better. I think we all can see that. You can't just only be fast. You must be fast and have a purpose and be able to control and get the hang of it. And I think SAA might give him that chance to just find what made him great, and do that.
Yeah, look, as you said, it's basically the same squad that went to the that played against the West Indies. The only guys that are missing out are Ruan Swart and Bjorn Fontaine. Bjorn Fontaine is injured. I feel sorry for Ruan, I must say, assuming he is available. I don't know. I only know about there was only mention of Bjorn being injured. But you're right. We said after the T20 series recently, the Proteas T20 series, we said Gerald was short of overs, short of game time, short of play. This is ideal preparation for him, just to get the overs and the legs, just to show that he is actually ready to play the longer formats. He's not just want to play the T20s, and he still has it. So this is very, very. I would say this is a very important series for him. And you're right, Jordan Hellman as well. Jordan Hellman, we know the talent. He's got to produce it now. This is the next step up. Produce it at this level.
Look, it's tough at the top, but we want headaches. We don't want easy decisions. Easy decisions are great, but you want to give us a headache. Look at Luandre giving us a headache. Devil's giving us a headache. Oh, if Hanok is there, he'd be giving us a headache, even more of a headache. But yeah. That's another story for another day. Okay, then they're going to play a 4-day series or a couple of 4-day games or just one. It's the squad is largely similar to the ODIs. It's just obviously Marcus Ackerman leading the team. He scored a double century in the West Indies. Remember that. Ogutlekele, Joel Kutsia, Skalk Engelbrecht comes in from the Titans. Zube Hamza also comes in from the Lions. Jordan Hammond still in there. Tristan Lee, Squena Mapako, Rivaldo Moonsami from the Titans, Mpho Mareki from Western Province, Mihlali Mpongwana, Tsepo Ndwandwa, Sinatemba Tlashile, Lesego Senokwane, as well as Jason Smith. Yes, no, and Cody Yusuf. The star of the Zim series, Cody Yusuf, is back in. I think so this gives me a lot more. Like, I look at the World Test Championship, I'm like, yeah, look at that B team. Look at that SAA squad. It's packed. It's packed with guys who've done a great job, an incredible job for this team and for their teams in domestically, and it's a really great reward. And for them to continue, having played well at the West Indies, to continue that, right? And Mpho Mareki leading the line as a senior bowler with these youngsters around him will really, really be good to see and helpful. And also Kwena with a step down for him to rediscover the fact that he's actually very good at that level.
Yeah, absolutely. He and Tristan Lewis. This is an important series for both. Both of them want to be in and amongst the Proteas squads going forward. They want to show that the pace reserves, if we do have an injury to a Andre Berger or Gerald or Marco, that they can come straight into the setup and we don't have any worries. I wouldn't, but this is an important series because they need to show that they are. What we need from them now is not the talent. We need consistency. That's what we need to see. We need to consistently playing well at this level.
For the youngsters, I want them to get the hang of it and to kind of understand what balls are effective, what balls are most consistent for them, and for them to still, bowl fast, right? There's a tendency of trying to slow things down, to get control, trying to slow things down and spell 3, 4, and 5, or 2, 3, and 4 in a game, because, obviously there's a partnership you're trying to break. But what we want from them is that stamina to bowl quickly throughout the day. Gwena struggled with that against them. Even against Pakistan, you kind of saw spells 2 and 3 be different to spell 1 of the day. And so you want them to kind of, build that stamina up, understand that you don't need 5 balls like in T20. You just need 2. And 2 gets you many, many wickets. 1 that goes away and 1 that goes straight. That's it. Doesn't even have to be 1 that comes in. Or if it's 1 that comes in, 1 that goes straight. You don't need to be, those you'll learn with time. What you want is fast, hitting your marks, and learning that, it's about, less from a skill perspective and more from I'm bowling fast, but I'm hitting my lengths and my lines. Like if I had to make them watch, I'd make them watch Mohammad Siraj. But then Mohammad Siraj, when Bumrah's not there. When Bumrah's there, the man just literally goes on leave, which is wild because he's also an officer of the law, which is also wild. And yeah, it's tough out there in India, guys. It's very, very tough. Like, he's a police officer. And I think there were many things in that series where he should have arrested some players, but that's up to me. That's up to him. But anyway. Okay. Then, Tim, it's the squad announcement part of this, so bear with us. The Proteas, the men's team, the senior men's team, not in Test whites, but in T20 yellow, are going to be going to in Australia right now, preparing for a T20 series. I think they play 4 T20Is in Australia, and the squad was announced. And also Australia's squad was announced. We're going to go through those and kind of figure out who we're worried about and whatever it is. So the men's Proteas T20 international squad now has some of the big names. People who are missing are David Miller, because he's in the he's playing in the 100. Is someone else playing in the 100, Tim? I remember. I think it's George.
George, that's correct. Yes.
George Linder.
Yeah.
No, George is here.
Yeah.
Sorry. George is here, but Miller's the biggest miss in this series. It's not okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna stop throwing names around. It'll be captained by Aidan Markram. Corbin Bosch gets not a major tour call up, because I don't think Zimbabwe you call it a major tour. Devil Brevis keeps his spot from Zimbabwe. Andre Berger as well. George Linder as well. Gwena Mapaka will be in Australia for this series. Senran Mutisami also gets a look in. Lungingiti, Ngaba Peter as well. Luandre Pretorius, Kagiso Rabada, Ryan Rickleton, Tristan Stubbs, Prenelin Subrian, and Rassi van der Dissen. So Rassi makes it in, and Riza does not. Is that a sign?
I said it to you when we last discussed the on the series against Zimbabwe and New Zealand. It was either a kick up the bum and say, right, this is your final chance, or thank you for your service, but we're moving in a different direction. I think this is a very clear sign.
And there's there's also another notable absentee. That's Vian Mulder. He is not playing in the series, nor is Marco Jansen, but Marco is injured, as well as Keshav Maharaj. That's an interesting one. I do remember Kesh was injured after that World Test Championship in Zimbabwe series, not World Test Championship. So not sure if he's available just as yet. But you're getting to see different spinners, Tim. And we saw them in Zim. It's going to be interesting on these Australian pitches, how they go and what the balance of the side is. You also see that Andile Simelane is no longer there. And I think he was the notable guy where you thought this was a step too far. But again, our fast bowlers are going to be tested in this series, and that's where we're going to have to look at, right, and see what it is. The only interesting thing is obviously what happened to Othniel Bartman. He won an award at the CSA Awards as Newcomer of the Year. Has his fall been that bad that he doesn't get a look in any of these series? Because he didn't play in Zim.
No. It's a bit perplexing one. We will get into the awards evening, because he did win an award, which might surprise some people because it's been a while since he's last played for the Proteas. But we will analyze that. Yeah, look, I just think there are other guys that are currently ahead of him. That's all it is. I just think there are guys at the moment. I think that the pace bowling unit is getting a little bit full. So he's just missing out because guys are currently ahead of him. That's all.
Yeah, and the squad does not have Joe Kutsia. It also doesn't have Andrich Nokia, who's injured, and Marco Jansen is injured, and you obviously got Kagiso. You've also got Lungi in here as well. And yeah, it's very packed. The interesting thing for me is what happens at the top of the order. Do you open with Aiden and or Luandre, or Aiden and Ryan, Aiden and Rassi? What are you going to do in that top three? That's going to be quite interesting when Aiden obviously comes in. Obviously, there's no David Miller, so Devil Brevis is going to slide into that middle order. What that middle order also looks like, because you've lost Miller and you've also lost Klaassen. And yeah, this batting lineup looks as though, you're going to have to figure out what that middle order looks like. And I think you're going to have to look at Stubbs getting a proper run in the side down the order at 4 or 5. It might be Stubbs 5, Dewald Brevis 6, and then you have Rix, Aiden, Luandre, and Rassi in the top 4, similar to how the Lions used to do it when they had 4 openers, 4 guys who could open in T20s, opening the batting. Is just finding who is more versatile to bat lower down, and I think Aiden might be that guy to move lower down.
Yeah, just play with the squad again. I will tell you why. I just want to have a quick look at okay. I don't see George there. Is he?
No, George is there. George is there next to Nandre.
Okay. Well, that is strange because I've just had a quick oh, there he is. I've just had a quick look at the 100 squad, so he is in the 100 squad. So I have no idea what's going on.
He might not play the ODIs. He might not be playing the ODIs. But yeah, so here's the thing. We've picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out-and-out batters in the squad. And so that kind of tells me that Shukri is going to go 6 batters, and then everyone else, if you can be an all-rounder, you'll be fitting in. It'll be 2 or 3 all-rounders, similar to what we saw in Zimbabwe. So that's going to be quite interesting because your 6 batters, you're going to go for more runs. That's one. But you've got batting a little bit of depth at the end with a Corbin Bosch and potentially either George Lindo or Mutusami in there. Then you have your out-and-out spinner in either Mlaba or Pren, and then you'll have your 2 quicks, your 2 out-and-out quicks, probably either between Kagiso Lungi, Kagiso Nandre, or Kagiso Kwena. So that's going to be interesting to see how they manage the bowlers. But I think this series is trying to figure out what 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 look like when you have a 6. And this is what Shukri did in Zimbabwe. He literally picked 6 batters and said, here you go. The one other person who's missing is Vian Mulder. Is he not a guy for this format, Tim?
I don't think, outside of Visa, I think Visa should be very worried in terms of World Cup selection. Outside the other guys that you've mentioned, I don't think they should be worried in terms of, does this mean I'm not going to be in the next World Cup next year? I don't think that that's necessarily true. It's just a case of, this is what he thinks. He wants to see things. He wants to see that all-rounder spots, particularly, as you say, 7, 8, and 9. He wants to be able to see. I've been surprised at Sen's continual selection. He wants to see something from Sen to decide whether he is going to be there. For example.
Yeah, look, I think the question is between Sen and George, and the question is who can give me better all-round performances, right? So, it's not a question of what's your primary job, and that's taking wickets, but it's can you give me handy runs at a good strike rate, and also give me some wickets, right? And I think Sen is if George had to retire today, Sen would be the next guy up as a spinning all-rounder in the side.
Yes.
And so
yeah.
And so it's George hasn't been playing Proteas cricket for the last 5 years. If he was, this would be it. But I kind of feel like he's giving George an opportunity, but also telling George that there's competition rather than necessarily picking just George.
Yeah, agreed.
Right. It's nice to have the man in the room who's going to beat you out. You know that if you make a mistake, you're going to, but they're not going to bowl that much. And I think that for me is the thing that we need to wrap our heads around, is that those overs are going to be split between them and possibly Aiden. If we go the off spinner route, if you go the leg spinner route, Aiden's going to bowl more because we need an off spinner. But if you go George and Pren, their overs are going to be largely similar, but it's only 4 overs. And I think Shukri's like, it's 4 overs, like, if things go really, really badly, we'll find a way. But yeah, look, there's a chance they can go 4 for 40, right? Or 44 for 50. But there's a chance they can go 4 for 28, the Aaron Pangisa special. And I think if someone can give us that without taking wickets, you're in with a shot over and above what you give with the batting. But if your batting is stellar, you're in. And I think I'd give it to the guy with the higher strike rate. Unless if there's a massive differential between your economy rates, like if Pren's going at if Sen's going at 4 and George is going at like 7 or 8, that's my answer. But if they equal, it's whoever takes the highest, who has the highest strike rate.
Yeah, for me, it's strike rate. That's why I've always been a little bit perplexed by Sen's selection. Because while it was economical in that series against Zimbabwe and New Zealand, he perhaps didn't get the chances with the bat. But I've been watching Sen a lot over the last few years, and I don't see clearing the boundary. I don't see him doing that. Whereas George does clear the boundary. He might make 15, but it'll be 15 of 4 balls, 5 balls. It won't be 15 of 17. That's why I would be leaning towards George at the moment.
Yeah. Let's look at the opponents. Australia, they've announced their T20 side. There's an ODI squad. We'll talk about it at the back end. We'll talk about that as the ODI series goes through, but I just want you guys to know who's in there as well. But here's the Australian team. It's Mitch Marsh as captain, Sean Abbott, Tim David, Ben Dwarshuis, Nathan Ellis, Cameron Green, Josh Hazlewood, Travis Head, Josh Inglis, Matt Kuhneman, Glenn Maxwell, Mitchell Owen, Matthew Short, and Adam Zampa. You don't see Stark and you don't see Pat Cummins, and I'm assuming they're getting a break, Tim. Also, very interesting bowling attack. I've seen this bowling attack before. I saw it against the West Indies without Josh Hazlewood, actually. But Josh Hazlewood getting a call up after the IPL, and obviously Cameron Green coming in. I don't think he's going to bowl. I think he's going to be a batter. But this is a big hitting team. This is a team that is designed to put 200 on you on a flat pitch.
Yeah, this is exactly it. I think we are. I understand Shukri. I think we are about a short, if I'm being perfectly honest. But this is a team that's not about a short. This team, as you quite rightly say, make 220, 225 easily. They're short in bowling. They might find it a bit difficult to defend highish totals, but they are going to be hitting the ball far and long. They've got lots of hitters at this team.
No, they do. Look, you look at Matthew Short, Mitchell Owen, who played well for the Hobart Hurricanes. He came down to SA20. We know what Maxi can bring. We know Josh Inglis and Travis Head, how destructive they can be. And then you look at Cameron Green, who scored half centuries in the West Indies T20 series, and Tim David is Tim David. Fastest 100 since AB de Villiers scored the fastest 100 in T20. So, yeah, 37 balls. So that's an interesting. I like this from Australia. They're kind of embracing the new T20, whereas with us, we're still trying to go back a couple of years and see if that version of T20 can work. But we don't have those high strike rate batters in SA.
We don't, but you could still have gone in a different reflection. You could have gone and said we need 7 batters, which even though we are missing Miller and the other people that you mentioned, Miller and Vian,
and Klaasen, because I'm still considering Klaasen as a man who's omitted. I don't think he's retired. I refuse to think he's retired. There's no way on God's green earth that Klaasen, Heinrich Klaasen, who is the best T20 batter in the world, or one top 5 this year. Obviously, last year was number 1, but like top 5 this year, even with the IPL. That you're not going to find a way to bring him back. Like, I don't understand.
My personal thought is if he makes an official announcement that he's retiring, I think that Shukri does not go, right, okay, let's see if we can have a discussion. As far as Shukri is concerned, move. Let's move. Let's move forward in a different direction.
I
don't necessarily agree with it. I actually would much rather, look, I know it was, I'm going to call it silly league, but I'd put AB de Villiers in this team. Right now, I would put AB de Villiers in this team, and he would be incredible. He is still clearly got it.
Tim, I'll take your AB, and I'll add you a 5.
Absolutely. I'd do it. I'd do it tomorrow.
And that team could actually win the World Cup. Listen to me, right? We saw what AB can do, right? And I still think with higher quality batters, he doesn't get there, but the destructive element is still there. Faf's been doing it, and Faf's been playing against these guys, and he's been dominating. So this would be my plan if I was someone at CSA. I'd call Heinrich, I'd call AB, and I'd call Faf. And this is also how we screw up World Cups, but let's go that way.
Yeah,
I'd call them into a room and say, guys, pay as you play. I'll organize you SA20 contracts. Okay, obviously, Heinrich's got an SA20, Faf's got one, but if the Joburg Super Kings need another batter because they don't know how to select batters, might as well just go again with Dad's Army and just throw AB de Villiers in there and be like, I don't need you guys for these silly internationals, but I might need you for one so you can like fit into the team, get the kid to understand the new way, the new songs and all of that stuff. Because it's been a while. The songs are similar, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
And then Heinrich, fine, go, don't come back. Those two old men, those fathers, I'd even open with them. That's what I would do.
Honestly, I would. I'd do it. I'd honestly do it.
So do you know what I would do? It's Faf at 1, Luandre at 2, AB at 3, Aiden at 4, David Miller at 5, Heinrich Klaasen at 6. Don't talk to me about David Brevis. Don't talk to me about youngsters. Don't tell me anything about oh no, we need to give the next gen a chance. I've told you, I love old men. I love old people. I'm old. I'm for them. And what AB showed you, because if he can score 141 off some rank bowling on some flat pitches, he can score 160. And that's what you want, right? Because I'm saying there's an IPL owner sitting there going, I need to give this guy a contract. And if I'm SA20, it's a 1-2 million contract. Nothing more. 1-2 million. Be like, look, dude, you've got all the money in the world. You've got enough money as God. It's the new regime. It's a new era. Give us something. Bring in the crowds. And the World Cups in India, we're cooking with gas. Yeah. With old men.
It's a one-time thing. It's the Winter World Cup. Look, Thomas Tuchel with England. The reason why they got Thomas Tuchel is to win a World Cup. That's why England got him. They've got him to regenerate the team and youngsters in and see the new talent. They want to win a World Cup. I want this team to win a World Cup. We want to win a championship. I want us to win a World Cup. The best place to do that is to pick those players.
Yes. And they're fit enough. That's the other thing. Like the way AB battered in that World Champions, whatever, World Cup Champions, World Champions League, I don't know. But that over 40s league, that's what I'm going to call it, the Retirees League. My word. And then the fun part, he goes to Alan Donham's like, Alan, this one's for you. I know 1999 at this ground hurt you, hurt all of us. Yes. This trophy's for you. We won a trophy. This is not a World Cup, baby. I'm sorry. It's not a World Cup. It's silly buggers. It's an exhibition. You are entertaining us, and you did in a world where there was no soccer, and we could watch you after the England-India test match. Thank you very much. The only thing that came out of this was you. It was you. It was you showing us that you still got it. And if you want your kids, because you said your kids, talk about Steve Smith, they talk about, Marnus and all these other boys, and they wanted to take autographs. If you ever want your kids to be the most popular guys in school, I think they already are. But if you ever want your kids to elevate to a level of greatness, for your kids to, I know they revere you, but for your kids to have a memory of you playing for the Proteas as their younger selves that they can remember when they talk to the therapist in 20 years' time, they'll be like, my first ever memory was my dad playing for the Proteas. You want that, right? This is your moment. I know they say the door's shut. The door's never shut. Same thing with Heinrich. Same thing with Faf. The door is never shut. You guys take us into the new. It's funny because you'd be the elder statesman, but you'd be taking us into the new era of T20 internationals. India are scoring double centuries against us. All 200s in T20s, and guys are scoring centuries at will against us. We want to do the same to other people's children, to other countries. Please. It's the one time I'll be like, you know what? Come back. Let's have good times. T20, Tim and I agree, Tim, you agree, it's hit and giggle. It's what it is. So let's giggle, let's get a World Cup, let's shut everyone up, and then you can go back into the pastures. Heck, you can play until you're 44, 45. Tom Brady it. LeBron James it. Imran Tahir it. That gives you 2 more World Cups. Come, Abes. Think about it. Just think about it. And Faf as well. And then Heino Klaassen, you've got 3 more World Cups to dominate. You're the best player in the world. No game is done without you. And with you, AB Faf, around these young boys, this game is done. Come on. Yeah, we're going to clip this and we're going to send it to them.
Absolutely.
No, but well done on that win. But yeah, the trophy's weird. I agree with you. Doing it for the team from 1999 is a little weird because, that's what we did at Lords.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. I'm happy for them. I'm even happier if it means they're playing the World Cup. I mean, even happier.
Now they know how to win a World Cup. Do you get what I'm saying?
Make it happen, boys. Make it happen, boys. Make it happen.
But there was a moment where in the match, JP Dwemini is out here paddling singles here and there, and AB's got that hamstring, and I'm sitting there going, JP, this is not the time. This is not the time. But the one thing I loved about it is Pakistan doesn't change its character at all. Still a horrible fielders, a massively bad fielding nation. Wow. Yeah. Even in old age. But you'd expect it. But Saeed Ajmal, come on, dog. Like, really? Anyway, Tim, that final, less said about it, the better. But well done. Chris Moss, well done, guys. Honestly, well done, guys. Okay, we're done with the squads. Now, here's another rant that you might want to clip. We had the CSA Awards last week, Thursday night. In the morning, they always have the Pathway Awards for all those who help in the development of the game throughout. And then in the evening, it's the gala dinner. You get awards for everyone who's played in domestic all the way to international. And so what we've done is we've packaged all the key awards that have come through. But here is my problem. Why are the awards being held in July when the time period of the awards was like what, May last year to Jan 2025?
April.
Well, it's April, but the international season ended in Jan. The domestics covered that, right?
Yeah.
When that would mean, so it was okay if you ended in April and then you had the awards in May and June or in April, because then you'd be celebrating something that was relevant and had recency bias. So you'd be voting for guys who played in the January test matches, right? Now, in June, we're World Test champions. We're supposed to be celebrating that. We're supposed to be giving guys who did well, getting us the World Test Championship and winning us the World Test Championship. So my question is, why couldn't you have either opened up the window to cover the World Test Championship so you end that, or have the awards earlier? Because now we're giving awards to guys who A, have told CSA they no longer want to play for them. That's a little awkward. B, guys who went on an injury hiatus after the World Cup, wanted to be asked back nicely to play. Then they said they weren't injured, they were injured, and then they're still winning things. And then we're making references to last year's T20 World Cup final, which also surprisingly happened before the awards. So now you have a situation where you're sitting there going, why are people winning awards when Aiden scored a century in the World Test Championship final? Temba scored some incredible runs. His captaincy would have given him the opportunity to be Player of the Year properly. Kagiso, that 9-fed Lords, would have been an opportunity to come through. I understand there's many more test matches before then, and I get that, right? But you'd be celebrating that, and then next year we don't talk about the World Test Championship final, because next year Aiden Temba's performance from the World Test Championship final going to come back, and we'd have long forgotten about them.
Yeah, they
and then when they win, we're going to sit there, but we only played 16. What's going on? And that's fundamentally what I was going through on Thursday night. I was like, what's happening? But the domestic ones work well. And so we're going to start with the domestic ones, because Tim, CSA needs to fix their dates. If you're going to end the thing in April, have the thing in March. In April and May. Don't have it at the end of July, when also we've got Mr. 367. Does he not get a look in? So next year when Vian wins Men's Test Player of the Year, we're all going to be sitting there going, oh yes, oh snap, he scored 367 runs against Zimbabwe. What are we doing?
I agree. Like I feel exactly the same about domestic team awards evenings. The domestic team award evenings of their own individual awards, are like 3-4 months after the season. I'm thinking, but why can't you?
We forgot.
Why can't you do it like 2 weeks after the season? Why? It drives me insane. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Yeah, look, people were rightly saying, well, how the heck did Bartman win an award? I haven't seen him in like a year. How did he win an award if I don't see him for an entire year?
And you were so bad after the World Cup. It was so bad. Like we couldn't look. Like, you know how bad we were in T20s after the World Cup? I think we lost all of them. We played 5 against India and they smacked us in all 5. And Bartman wins. And he was there.
Same with
No, because he wins newcomer. He wins newcomer of the year. And I'm sitting there going, but isn't this the year that Ricks came through? Or was it last year? You see, this is the problem that we're having. When did Ryan Rickinson make his debut? December 2024. Or 23. When did Ricks make his debut? Like, why is... Anyway, let's go through this and we'll discuss this. But anyway, let's start with the domestic because we love domestic players. This is actually a domestic cricket podcast that talks about the Proteas. So when the season starts, we go heavy. We go very heavy domestic. But anyway, cool. Let's do domestic. Cool. Try to do a nice little overlay and all of that. So men's domestic newcomer went to Deon Forrester. That goes unopposed. He was unbelievable. Really, really unbelievable. Men's Division 2 Coach of the Year, Ahmed Amla. He obviously made them come back into Division 1 with the promotion after being relegated the year before. Men's 4-day series player of the year was Ernest Kem from the Heat. Men's Division 2 T20 knockout player of the year was Christopher Brits from the Eastern Storm. Men's Div 2 1-day cup player of the year is Jerome Bossa of the Lynette. He scored bucket loads of runs in the 1-day cup. Jerome Bossa was bossing everyone. Men's Division 1 Coach of the Year, Russell Domingo of the Lions. Men's T20 Player of the Season, Gwena Mapaga of the Lions. Men's 4-day Player of the Season was Luandre Pretorius of the Titans. Men's Div 1 1-day Cup Player of the Year, John Smuts. He's so good, they named him twice. And finally, Men's Player of the Year was Devil Brevis. And Men's Soccer Men's MVP of the Year was Prenelin Subrian. Any issues, any questions? Because I'm largely happy with this. The only other thing is... Devil Brevis being player of the year is a little weird because I think Luandre dominated across all formats, but maybe because Devil played more 4-day cricket, more 1-day cup cricket, it went to him.
Yeah, look, I don't have any issues. I was live tweeting the awards, so if you go to the Full Quarter Pod, you'll see that I also give you the stats for each player, and look, all the players are all worthy winners. No, talking about the Proteas surprises, there are no surprises here. But you're quite right. It was probably a toss-up between Luandre and Devil in terms of the players' player of the year. I probably, like you, would have given it to Luandre, but it's not something it's not a massive shock that Devil got it. But you're right, it probably is because of his white ball performances.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so congratulations to everyone. Really, really great seasons. They really, really did a good job. Then for the ladies, Domestic Ladies Awards, domestic newcomer going to Faye Cowling, who should be bowling for the Proteas, women, by the way. If you're looking for fast bowler, it's this lady. Hollywood Bets Pro Series Coach of the Year is Sean Pretorius of the Lions. Hollywood Bets Pro 20 Player of the Year of the season is Kayla Reinecker, who was SA Under-19 captain, by the way. Hollywood Bets Pro 50 Player of the season was Sinead Lease of the Titans. Yeah, she really bullied that league. And then Women's Player of the season goes to Nondumise Shangase, who was also having a great time in the Proteas women. And also Soccer Women's MVP goes to Leah Jones of the Western Province. She has really had a good season with the bat for them and really well deserved. Tim, do you have any issues with this?
Absolutely not. All worthy winners once again, and you are quite right. The sooner we get Faye into the Proteas setup, the better.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. More Faye in this team. Okay, now here comes the controversial stuff. This is going to be fun. In the international award winners, it was all Nonkululeko Mlaba for the women's side. But yeah, she won Women's T20 Player of the Year. Anne Dirksen, who was named IC Emerging Player of the Year, wins the ODI Player of the Year. Women's International Newcomer of the Year is Ayanda Hlubi. Men's International Newcomer of the Year is Othniel Bartman. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, my word. I don't understand. Men's T20 Player of the Year, another shocker, Anouk Nokia. But hey, guys, it was a bad year. But where was Hanno Klaassen in all of this? If Anouk Nokia is winning, I don't know. Men's ODI Player of the Year, rightfully, Hanno Klaassen. Well done. Makes sense. Men's Test Player of the Year, Temba Bavuma. Yes, he scored 200s in the last calendar year. Carl Verena will feel a little bit hard done by here. So too Keshav, because he took a lot of wickets last year. But hey, Temba wins it. Congratulations to Umkokeli. Men's Player of the Year was Kagiso Rabada. Another question, I think, but Kagiso is always just amazing. Women's Player of the Year, Nonkululeko Mlaba, and Makantini Power of Cricket Award goes to Dane Patterson. And the winner of the SA Fans Player of the Year was Themba Bavuma. Tim, any issues with this? We're going to get to men's and women's Player of the Year there, but talk to me.
Only the SA Fans Player of the Year picture with Themba holding the test mace, not considering test mace.
Yes, and Kagiso's picture at Lord's appealing for a thing, and I'm sitting there going, guys, Kagiso played against Pakistan. He's played all the, like, you could have found. There's so many pictures available. Themba scored 200s in 2 back-to-back games against Pakistan. You could have picked one of those.
Oh, I have got some numbers for you though. So, in the time period that was considered, Maharaj played 7 tests, got 40 wickets, 20. He played 12 T20s, got 14 wickets, 22. Bavuma, Test Player of the Year, 6 tests, 609 runs at 60. Nokia was T20. Yeah, T20s, 15 wickets at 18.
Mm-hmm.
And Klaasen, One Day Player of the Year, 418 runs at 70. So numbers-wise, they deserve it, but I agree in terms of how it's set up. It's crazy.
My issue is this. How do you have T20 Player of the Year and it's not Hanno Klaasen? I just balance me that.
Yeah, agreed.
Like what world are we living in? Like I don't understand. Calendar-wise, I get it, but even if we adjusted the calendar, we haven't played T20 since Jan. Oh, Zimbabwe, but he wasn't going to play there either way. Like I get what Anrich did. What got us to that World Cup final was Klaasen and Miller.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, I'm so shocked. And then the other thing is, when did Ryan Rickleton make his debut? I'm actually going to look at this now because I am so shocked that he's not International Newcomer of the Year. I made his debut in 2022. Oh, man. But that shouldn't count. It was like one game. Oh, and then he played Bangladesh. Again, one game. Okay.
I will at the end of the show, I will get you his numbers in the time frame that they stipulated, and I'll tell you what it is. But carry on.
No, but Ryan made his debut in 22, so it doesn't matter. It can't, because obviously he's played. But like I'm trying to figure out who else made a splash as a newcomer, and nobody knocked the door down. I'd say Stubbs, but Stubbs has already played international cricket then. Nandre played before. Kwena would be it, but he didn't light up the place. So yeah, Othniel Bartman. Yeah, that's interesting. And then we haven't seen him since. That's the other problem. Look, yes, he had a bad World Cup, but like, where is he? Was that series against India that bad that he doesn't? Guys, we can't bowl at the death. He's one of the only few guys in South Africa who can bowl at the death, and you're not picking him for tours. Yet he's winning newcomer awards. Hey guys, you know what? Let me keep quiet. Let me keep quiet. But congratulations to everyone who's won, especially Nonkululeko Mlaba. It was a massive night for her. And then, oh man, I can't say no to this. Even with adjusting the dates, I'd still pick Kesh. Even with. If you look at the games we played last year and where we played, West Indies in the subcontinent, And he just kept on getting us wins. He just kept on getting us wins. He just kept on being that guy. Really, really deserves it. In a world where we go for batters than bowlers, this is well deserved. And then there's only so much I can say so much about Lefty. But man, Lefty, you are insane. If you want to come on this podcast and talk, we can. Lefty, you are the best bowler in this team. You and Laura are 1 and 2 in this women's team. And on some days, you are one. You are the best player in this team, and you deserve Player of the Year last year because, man, without you, some contest that we lost, we wouldn't have lost by, we would have lost by, some contests we lost, we're so close because you kept us in there. And, oh, man, whenever other teams look at you, they no longer look at you as a person they're going to try hit out. They actually respect you. And last year, oh, Lefty, man, well done. Oh, SA Women's Player of the Year, Nonkululeko Mlaba, and SA Men's Player of the Year, Keshav Maharaj. Left Arm Spinners Union unites. That's amazing. Truly, truly
and
amazing.
I think Mlaba got 4 awards overall in the evening. I think I've got that correct. Obviously, that is the cream of the crop, the most important one. Obviously, the Player of the Year. As you say, though, worthy winners, both of them, absolutely outstanding periods for them. Absolutely, no question about it. They both deserve to be winners by some distance.
And to a certain extent, on Thursday, I was like, huh? Especially around Kesh, but it was recency bias. We won the World Test Championship. He didn't do much there because we were playing at Lords. And obviously in Jan, also didn't do much because of South Africa. But if you look at those 7 games, 4 of those 7 games were away from home in spinner-friendly conditions, and Keshav delivered the goods for us. If this World Test Championship if you had a World Test Championship player of the 2 years, Keshav is it. He delivered on the goods. The problem is the batters all shared runs. There's no one who stood out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Carl's going to come kill us. But Carl, you also would agree. 3 centuries, I'd put you up there, like very close. For me, it was between me and him and Carl. But then he went on T20 World Cups. He did everything. Like Kesh was that World Cup in America. Without Kesh, I don't know if we go far. And so he did well. He deserves it.
Undoubtedly. Yeah, I think that's someone who's coming to the end. That's a worthy award for him, and just a credit to Proteas cricket, an absolute credit. We know the players love him, so for him to get an award, because he is the ultimate team man. He's the ultimate team individual that will come and help the team and not take the light, not take the shine out of what has been a good performance. He will always put the shine on somebody else. So for somebody of that character, not just the performance of that character, it's a worthy award for him.
Yes. Yeah. I think we should end it on that note. Well done to Keshav. Did really, really well. Well done to Nonkululeko. Amazing. I hope you have a trophy cabinet the size of what you got, and you're going to get more. This next World Cup in India, Lefty, this one's for you. This really, really is for you. But we'll be back next year doing this again. Also being happy that we won the World Championship a year before. But again, that's what it is. CSA, fix your dates. But yeah, we'll be back later on this week or next week. For you to find out, please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Follow us on X, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify at Full Quarter Podcast. And also, please buy some coffee. We'll be back next week to dissect and probably do a proper preview of that T20 series against Australia. From myself and Tim here, it's goodbye and lesale kakahiso.